So today we're going to dig into the pack and see what's inside of it. And in this series, when I was talking about what I carry on the outside of my pack, I did fail to mention that I carry a tripod here in my water bottle pockets. And I was using it at the time, so I forgot all about it, but I do carry that. And it's just easy to grab there when I need a tripod, either to set it up on a tree, set it on the ground, whatever, deal with my camera. But inside, I have everything in the same place every single time, just so I know where it's all at. And to begin with, we'll start with a puffy. So I've got two puffies, and I carry these in different parts of the pack. Usually, if I need a puffy, this is the first one I'll grab, and it kind of helps take up space in the pack and compact everything together. But I usually have this right on top and wrapped around my food and my food containers, which are what I usually get into quite often during the day, because every time I stop and I want to eat, I get my food bag out. But first, I'll talk about these Ziplocs, and this is what I carry for a cup for drinking out of, eating out of. I just have this Jetboil spoon that I've always carried ever since I first bought a Jetboil. I like the spoon. I really like those titanium long spoons, but I don't know where I'd carry it. This thing, compacts down and fits right in my bowl here. So I carry two Ziploc jars, and I usually carry two lids too. There's probably one in my food bag here. So these, if I want to cold soak, these are good for cold soaking. They nest together when I'm not using both of them. When I'm carrying my stroopwafels, I pack them into these things and they don't get all busted up. And as I'm eating stroopwafels and I don't need both containers, then they nest on top of each other, take up much less space. They're great for drinking out of, hot coffee, hot chocolate, a hot meal, or for cold soaking. And for some reason they're hard to find now. I don't know if I used to find them at Walmart all the time, and on the Colorado Trail I had one break. I came into a couple towns with Walmarts, couldn't find one, and so I've got to, once I find them again, I'm going to buy a truckload of them. And most people don't carry as much food as I do, but I usually carry 7, even sometimes 10 days worth of food. On the Florida Trail, again, I probably won't do that because it looks like a lot of food opportunities along the way. But that goes right in the top of my pack. First aid, I'll go over that separately in another video. This is my rain gear. It says Frog Togs. I don't carry Frog Togs, but I've had them before, and I like the bag. All my rain gear flattens right down in this bag, and so I kept the bag, used the bag. But this is my patrol poncho. Best poncho I've ever owned. So I've always been a poncho user, but you know, ponchos don't cover your arms. They're usually hard to get on. It's like wrestling with a snake in the wind, and this kind of solved all those problems. This has arms. It's simple to get on. It is a little heavy. Not as heavy as my original poncho. Just my poncho weighed like a pound, and it was really heavy material, and I used it for a ground cloth for my tent at the time also. But this, probably with my chaps and everything in it, is pushing that pound. So it's got a kangaroo pocket. So in here I carry chaps. I carry another elastic belt that I made to keep it down in the wind. When I'm hiking, that kangaroo pocket comes in handy for either putting snacks in if it's raining and you don't want to get into your pack for food, or my Showa gloves when I want them. When I don't want them, I can just stick them in here. Love that kangaroo pocket. Love the arms on this thing. And then again in the pockets, I have Montbell chaps. And so if it's really bad, this has got just a Velcro opening on it, but it sticks like glue. Because I'm trying to get into it right now. Anyway, put these Velcro chaps on. Patrol poncho comes down almost to my knees and I'm just fully covered. And that has worked out really great. I've been using that for about a year and it's really the best rain gear setup I've ever used. And it's another layer of warmth. Even if it wasn't raining, it was really cold. Like on the Colorado Trail, there was a couple days that you couldn't decide if it was going to rain or not, but boy, that wind was cold and it's like a windbreak. I wore it with everything under me. I was toasty warm. Clothing, again, we'll do a separate video just on clothing I carry in this bag. This is my other puffy. This one has a hood. This one has a kangaroo pocket. This is one of my favorite puffies because of this kangaroo pocket. And in that, I carry what a lot of people don't carry, and another set of gloves. So these are just regular work gloves, but I'll use those a lot. You know, if it's just cold out, I don't want to wear those Showa gloves. I'll wear these to bed a lot. If it's a cold night, I'll wear these to bed. Nice and comfortable in my hands. I can have my hands out of the bag and they're not freezing. Again, I've got old hands, so maybe a lot of people don't have that problem. Do you need to carry those extras? No. This is probably one of the heaviest things I carry. This weighs more than some people's tent. This is probably 18, 19 ounces of power bricks for my phones, charging cables, plug-ins. Now I've got this GoPro I found on the trail, on the Colorado Trail. I've got extra batteries for that. I've got a little waterproof phone holder, so if I want to take pictures and it's raining hard, I can still do it right through the plastic on that. Anyway, I could lose an easy pound if I stopped talking to you people. And so far it's still fun, so I'm still doing it, I'm still carrying it. And then I watch other content creators and they're carrying drones and bigger cameras, so I don't feel so bad. But anyway, so far it's well worth the wait. I'm having fun doing this on the trail. This is my Uberlite pad. It's about 8 ounces. I carry the bag because I always blew these things up. I've had Thermarest inflatables for a long time. I just blew them up with my breath, but when I bought this, it came with this bag and I thought I'd give it a shot, and I love it. You know, it takes me 3 minutes at the most to blow this thing up using this bag, and I just carry the pad right in it. And I think this is pretty waterproof too, so if I wanted to put other things in it, I could. And then my bag basically is the last thing in here, besides the compactor bag in the back and a few zip ties just in case I need them. But this is a Z-Packs bag. It's a warm bag. It's like a 5-degree bag. It's quite old. I think I bought this in 2014 maybe. So it's not as warm as when it was new, and it lives in this compression sack, which is a Sea to Summit. A lot of people will put their bag right into the bottom of their bag, maybe in a trash bag. But to me, I get a lot more room in my pack by keeping it controlled. A lot of people don't use the stuff sacks that I use, but it's my preferred method. And I like to compress this thing down and get all the real estate I can out of my pack. And of course, you know, when I'm not using it, I don't store it this way. I let it breathe, hang it in a closet at home. But in my pack every day, it gets compressed into this Sea to Summit bag. Again, it's probably a good idea for everybody to carry a trash bag. These things are big enough to take up my whole pack, so I can put everything that needs to be protected from dampness into this, stuff it in here, and it's kind of like your first line of defense for bad weather, wet weather, cold weather. So in the next video in this series, we'll talk about what I have in my clothing bag and my first aid bag. Not a lot, just exactly what I need. Keep smiling. So this video link will take you to a playlist of videos I've done on most of these pieces of gear if you want more information. If you have any questions, let me know.